Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. One of my favorite things to talk about here each week is Rich Club. Great organization. I'm glad to be involved in it. Really glad to have them as a part of the radio program, and looking forward to doing some great expansion and activity in 2014. Alan Paine, he is the president of Rich Club, and friend that I've now known for quite a while, and always glad to have you in the studio, Alan. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Kevin.
Hey, real quickly, by the way, I do want to mention to the audience, richclub.org is the website. Alan, kind of give us an overview of what Rich Club is all about and what it's doing.
Well, first off, let me just say Rich Club stands for Realty Investment Club of Houston. That's where we get the word rich. And we are investors helping investors learn about the real estate business. We are a nonprofit club, and we do education, networking, and lazy together.
There you go. Yeah, and I'll say that if you check out richclub.org, particularly the calendar, I think you'll be in awe of all that you're doing all of the time. It's just incredible. You can get all the education you want. Virtually everything in here is no cost for members, and getting a member is really quite affordable.
Yes, it's less than $1 a meeting when you break it down. We have like over 18 meetings a month.
Wow, it's really quite incredible. Not to mention activities and fun stuff you're doing and that type of thing. Go ahead and introduce your guest today.
My guest here is DA Rambo. She is one of our board members, and she has been a board member about 6 years now.
Very good.
DA, would you want to tell us a little bit more about what kind of investing you do?
Yes, thanks. Good morning. I am principally a single-family home investor. I've dabbled a little bit in commercial and raw land. For 6 years, I believe I've been very fortunate, very blessed to have worked on a number of projects, and I directly credit that with the associations and partnerships I formed with people I've met at Rich and the education and fine information that I've acquired from it.
Let me ask you, DA, how long have you been involved with Rich Club?
I joined in 2007. I was transitioning from owning another completely unrelated business, and just joined on a whim and have been very glad ever since.
Very cool. Alan?
Well, Rambo, when we talk about real estate and doing fix-up houses, most people think that's a man's world. You'll get your hammer out. So why is real estate such a great vehicle for women?
Well, I'm glad you asked me that because just to reveal my range of talents, it once took me 2 days to build a closet organizer for one closet.
Wow.
Sounds
wire
familiar.
shelves, but I would not give up. This betrays my unfamiliarity with power tools. Now, nonetheless, it never occurred to me that I wouldn't find a niche competence in real estate. The reason being, I have a deep belief that money does not know gender. Money respects competence, action, follow through, and planning. So the skills that I don't have, let's say my mechanical skills and knowing how to use tools, were very easy to hire and acquire. So I see it as gender neutral and an excellent way to create a very comfortable lifestyle.
Okay, if I don't understand anything about power tools, where do you find these people who do?
Well, it's been a process of checking with friends and associates and trying to find people who are highly skilled. That's where the networking really comes in handy. And, of course, a process of trial and error. I can pay someone $12 to $15 an hour, or I can use up my very valuable time. Now, in our organization, we have a number of vendor members, and our vendor members have a variety of talents and skills. And at our trade show and networking events, we have an opportunity to meet with competent tradespeople and find the people that make sense for us to hire.
Yeah, and I think that, one of the things I think is so important is not only the tactical and hands-on type knowledge that you get at a place like Rich Club. You really learn how to develop new values, which you just emulated there, DA, when you talked about the fact that we got to be sensible about our time. Time is the equivalent of money. And so for me to spend hours doing something, I remember a time I used to do an oil change. Now, depending on where you go, you get the oil change for free. Really, all you're paying for is the product when you can get an oil change for $15. How nutty is it for me to spend several hours, because that's how long it takes me to do an oil change because of my incompetence, when I could just pay somebody to do that and actually use my hours towards making money or even enjoying myself, so I have more energy when I decide to do something that makes money. And those are just among the cool things you learn at a place like Rich Club. By the way, that's richclub.org.
I completely agree. And one of the early lessons that I acquired was that through my associations with Rich, one of my sayings for success is always associate yourself with people smarter than yourself and more experienced than yourself, especially when embarking upon a new adventure or trying to acquire new competencies. And Rich Club was replete with people who had been in the field for years who were looking for people to partner with. You may have assets, you may have time, you may have a willingness to do what other people won't do. If you bring that to the club and the organization, you will find people who can work with you and capitalize upon what you have to offer.
Got to wrap it up. Do you have a website for yourself there, DA?
Oh, thank you. I do not.
You don't? Okay. But you can find her email and more over at richclub.org. Any last thoughts before we wrap up? We've got about 30 seconds left.
Okay. This month, we are meeting next Saturday at the Rich Club headquarters, which is 4220 Lockfield, and that's near 43rd and 290. We have 27 investors holding each speaking. We're going to have 5 segments there, so we have a lot of information going to be passed around from our experienced investors to our less experienced investors. It's going to be a great time.
Very cool. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
All right, as always, we love having them on. We're looking forward to doing even more in 2014. Glad to have them as contributors here on The Price of Business. When we come back, we're going to have much more for you. I do want to remind you, best content here, it shows up over there at usdailyreview.com. Stay tuned for more.